If something happens to you or your spouse, does your family actually know what CPP benefits they're entitled to and how to apply for them? Most Canadians assume these benefits kick in automatically. They don't. There's a death benefit, a survivor's pension, and a children's benefit that all require separate applications, and recent changes to how these are calculated mean a lot of families are either missing out entirely or getting less than they should. Today, I want to walk you through exactly what's changed and what you need to do to protect your family's income. Hey everyone, welcome back to Frank Canada Today. I know most of my videos focus on the regular monthly CPP and OAS deposits, but today I want to cover something just as important that doesn't get nearly enough attention. What happens to CPP benefits after a contributor passes away? The recent changes to the survivor's pension, the death benefit, and the children's benefit, plus a quick update on where OAS and GIS currently stand. Let's get into it. Let's start with the biggest change, and this one matters if you're widowed or if you're planning ahead for your own family. As part of a recent triennial review of the CPP, conducted jointly by federal and provincial finance ministers, a set of amendments took effect at the start of last year. One of the most important changes involves separated couples. If you're separated from a partner and you requested what's called a credit split, meaning your former partner's CPP contributions during the relationship were divided between both of you, you are no longer eligible to receive a survivor's pension if that former partner later passes away. Essentially, once you've requested a credit split, you're treated the same way as someone who's divorced or was a former common-law partner, rather than someone still connected to that person's CPP record. There is an important exception, though. If a separated couple reconciles and is living together again at the time of death, eligibility for the survivor's pension is restored. If your relationship history includes a separation and a credit split, this is worth understanding clearly, because it directly affects what you or a loved one might be entitled to down the road. Next, let's talk about the children's benefit, because this expanded in a way a lot of families don't know about. Previously, the CPP children's benefit was really only available in full to dependent children attending school full-time. Now, children of disabled or deceased contributors between the ages of 18 and 24 who are attending a recognized educational institution on a part-time basis can also qualify, receiving 50% of what a full-time student would receive. As of last year, that part-time rate worked out to a flat monthly amount of just over $150. If you have a young adult in your family who's a part-time student and lost a parent, or whose parent is receiving CPP disability, it's worth checking whether they qualify for this benefit, because it's easy to assume part-time status disqualifies them when it actually doesn't anymore. Now, the death benefit itself. This is a one-time, lump sum payment made to the estate of a deceased CPP contributor, generally paid to whoever is covering funeral and estate costs, and it's capped at a maximum of $2,500. Here's something newer worth knowing. For estates where the deceased passed away without ever having collected a CPP retirement or disability pension, and without leaving behind an eligible survivor, an additional top-up of up to $2,500 may now be available. This recognizes situations where someone contributed to CPP for years but passed away before ever drawing on it, with no spouse or partner left to receive ongoing survivor benefits. This death benefit requires its own separate written application. It is not something that gets triggered automatically just because Service Canada is notified of a death. Let's talk about the survivor's pension itself.
Since this is the ongoing monthly benefit for a spouse or common-law partner, the amount depends heavily on your age at the time your partner passed away, and whether you're also receiving your own CPP retirement or disability pension. If you are, your survivor's pension gets combined into a single monthly payment, rather than paid as two separate amounts stacked on top of each other. And that combined benefit is not simply the sum of both. For survivors who are also living with a disability, current combined maximums for disability and survivor benefits sit at approximately $1,756.14 per month, though your actual amount depends entirely on your own and your partner's contribution history. One encouraging update: the enhanced portion of CPP, the part that's been phasing in since 2019, is now factored more fully into how survivor pensions are calculated, which means survivors of contributors who paid into the enhanced plan may qualify for a higher maximum than under the older calculation method. Now, a quick update on the more familiar side of things. OAS increased by 1.2 quarter, the largest quarterly bump this year, bringing the maximum monthly pension to around $751.97 for those 65 to 74, and $827.17 for those 75 and older. GIS also increased by that same amount. But keep in mind your individual GIS was also reset this month based on your 2025 tax return, so your actual deposit may look different from the quarterly increase alone, depending on how your income changed year over year. So here's what I want you to walk away with today. If you're separated with a credit split, understand that survivor's pension eligibility works differently for you now.
If you have a part-time student in the family connected to a deceased or disabled CPP contributor, check whether the children's benefit applies. If you've lost a spouse or partner, don't wait to apply for the death benefit and survivor's pension, because delays can cost you real retroactive income. And on the regular side, OAS and GIS both increased this quarter, with GIS also reflecting your updated 2025 income. If this video helped you understand benefits you or your family might be missing, hit subscribe, because I cover exactly this kind of overlooked detail regularly. Drop a comment if you have questions about your own situation. I read every single one. This has been Frank Canada Today. Take care of yourselves and your families, and I'll see you in the next video.